Infidelity. The word itself carries a weight that can shatter hearts, destroy trust, and leave scars that never truly heal. This is my story, a tale of love, betrayal, and a shocking truth that changed everything I believed about relationships. This is not just a confession. It is a revelation, and I hope sharing it will resonate with those who have walked a similar path. I met her on a summer evening, a chance encounter that felt destined. She was beautiful, her smile lighting up the room, and her laugh carrying a melody that made my heart skip a beat. From the moment our eyes met, it felt as if the universe had conspired to bring us together. We fell in love quickly, almost too quickly, as if the intensity of our emotions could make up for the time we had spent apart. Before knowing each other, our love was passionate and all-consuming. We talked for hours about our dreams, fears, and the future we wanted to build together. Everything seemed perfect. Two perfect friends would tell us we were couple goals, and I believed them. But life has a way of revealing the cracks beneath the surface. When you least expect it, the first sign was subtle. Almost imperceptible, she became distant, her laughter less frequent, her eyes losing the spark I had fallen for. At first, I thought it was stress. She had been working late nights, her phone constantly buzzing with notifications from work. I reassured myself that it was temporary, a phase we would get through together. But then came the lies, small at first, almost insignificant, a forgotten detail about where she had been, and inconsistency in her stories. Doubts began to creep into my mind, but I silenced them, afraid of what they might uncover. I told myself I was overthinking, that love meant trust, and trust meant giving her the benefit of the doubt. One evening as she showered, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. I wasn't the kind of person to invade someone's privacy, but something compelled me to look. The name on the screen was unfamiliar, and the message was cryptic but intimate. My heart raced as I scrolled through their conversation, each word cutting deeper than the last. There, it was undeniable proof of her betrayal. The world seemed to collapse around me. My chest tightened, my vision blurred, and a wave of nausea washed over me. How could this be happening? The person I trusted most, the person I loved unconditionally, had been unfaithful. I wanted to confront her immediately, but a part of me was paralyzed, unable to accept the truth staring back at me from the screen. When she emerged from the shower, I couldn't hide my emotions. She noticed the phone in my hand, her face instantly clouding with guilt. What followed was a confrontation I will never forget. Tears were shed, voices were raised, and excuses were made. She tried to downplay it, saying it was just texts, that it meant nothing. But to me, it meant everything. It meant the foundation of our relationship had been compromised. The trust shattered. I demanded to know why. Why would she do this? Her answer was both heartbreaking and infuriating. She felt neglected, she said, as if our love had become routine, predictable. She had sought excitement, something new, something thrilling. Her words felt like daggers, each one piercing deeper than the last. Had I failed her? Had I not been enough? For days I wrestled with my emotions: anger, sadness, confusion, and a desperate longing to turn back time. Friends and family offered their advice, but none of it made the pain any easier to bear. Forgiveness seemed impossible. How could I forgive someone who had betrayed me so profoundly? Eventually, I made a decision. I confronted her one final time, telling her there would be no forgiveness. Not because I didn't love her. I did more than words could ever express. But because some wounds run too deep to heal. Our relationship ended that day, leaving behind a void that felt insurmountable. In the months that followed, I struggled to find myself again. I questioned everything: my worth, my ability to love, and my capacity to trust. But slowly I began to heal. I realized that her infidelity was not a reflection of my shortcomings, but of her inability to appreciate the love we had. It was a painful lesson, but one that taught me the value of self-respect, and the importance of setting boundaries. Now, as I share this story, I hope it serves as a reminder to those who have experienced betrayal. You are not alone and your pain is valid. Infidelity is a cruel betrayal, but it does not define you. It is possible to move forward, to rebuild and to find a love that is genuine and faithful. If you found this story compelling, please like and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continue sharing stories that matter. Together, we can create a space where honesty and vulnerability are celebrated, and where no one has to face their struggles alone. But the story doesn't end here. The aftermath of infidelity is a journey in itself, filled with challenges and unexpected turns. As the days turned into weeks, I began to see life through a different lens. My nights were sleepless, haunted by memories of what once was, and the harsh reality of what had become. Every corner of my apartment held a piece of us photos, gifts, and even the faint scent of her favorite perfume that lingered in the air. I decided to take a break from everything familiar. A close friend suggested a solo trip, something to clear my mind and help me rediscover myself. I chose a quiet coastal town, far from the chaos of the city and the memories tied to her. It was there, amidst the soothing sound of waves and the endless horizon, that I began to truly reflect. The first few days were the hardest. I carried the weight of resentment and self-doubt, replaying every moment in my head, trying to pinpoint where it all went wrong. Was it my fault? Could I have done something differently? But as the days passed, I realized that healing wasn't about finding answers. It was about accepting that some questions would remain unanswered. It was about finding peace in the chaos. During my stay, I met people who had their own stories of heartbreak and resilience. A retired sailor who lost his wife, but found solace in painting the sea. A single mother who turned her pain into poetry. And a young couple who reminded me of the innocence and hope I once had. Their stories inspired me, showing me that life, despite its hardships, always offers a chance to rebuild. One evening, as I sat by the shore watching the sunset, I felt a sense of liberation. For the first time in months, the anger and sadness that had consumed me began to fade. I started writing not just about my pain, but about my hopes, dreams, and the lessons I'd learned. Writing became my therapy, a way to pour out everything I had bottled up inside. When I returned home, I was not the same person who had left. The journey had changed me, teaching me the value of letting go. I packed away the remnants of our relationship, the photos, the gifts, and even the perfume bottle she had left behind. It was not an act of erasure, but a step toward making space for new memories. New beginnings. Friends noticed the change in me. They said I seemed lighter, more at peace. I began to focus on myself, my health, my passions, and the relationships that truly mattered. I reconnected with old friends, spent time with family, and even adopted a dog, who quickly became my loyal companion and a source of endless joy. But the journey of healing is not linear. There were days when the pain resurfaced, triggered by a song, a scent, or a fleeting memory. On those days, I reminded myself of the progress I had made, the strength I had found, and the love I still had to give. Not just to others, but to myself. Months turned into a year, and then another. One day I received a message from her. She apologized not just for the betrayal, but for the pain she had caused. She said she had grown, that she realized the magnitude of her mistakes. Her words were sincere, but they did not sway me. I had moved on not out of bitterness, but because I had found something more valuable: peace. Now I look back on that chapter of my life not with regret, but with gratitude. It taught me resilience, self-worth, and the importance of cherishing the love that comes without conditions or deceit. Sharing this story is my way of honoring that journey and reaching out to anyone who feels lost in the aftermath of betrayal. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening. Life is full of unexpected twists, but it's also full of opportunities to grow and thrive. Remember, no matter how dark the night, the dawn always comes. Please like, Share and subscribe to my channel if this story resonated with you. Let's build a community where stories like these remind us of our shared humanity and the strength we carry within.